Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry to say lockdown has set me a little crazy and I'm now making videos about tax and furlough. But it's educational, so stick around or go and browse the channel. I recently made bread. This is the first ever episode of Professor Jamie and our topic today is a really exciting one, tax. Yes, there is so much in the news around furlough and who gets it, so I've decided to make a video to show you all a simple example. Today we're going to talk around small business owners and how they could pay themselves and how much they would get. For the example we are going to use, I'm going to be a cafe owner who works full-time managing the cafe. We're going to assume after paying all my costs, including other staff, I'm left with £50,000 profit. So on this profit, how much do we think I can keep? Is it 100%, 50%, or is it somewhere in between? Let's find out. It turns out there are hundreds of answers to this question, depending on how I pay myself. The first scenario we're going to look at is me paying all of the profit to myself as a salary. So if a business makes £50,000 and wants to pay it as salary, first the business needs to work out its employer's national insurance payment. This is a tax all businesses pay of any employee and costs around 10 to 13%, but depends on how much you earn. In this example, we would have to pay around £5,000 employer's national insurance, meaning we can only pay ourselves a salary of around £45,000. Before we get to spend this whole £45,000, unfortunately we have to pay some more tax. We have to pay personal tax, which the basic rate is 20%. After taking advantage of our tax-free threshold, we have to pay around £6,400 of personal tax. We also have to pay employee national insurance, which is 12% less the tax-free amount. This costs us around £4,400. This means on our £50,000 profit, we are only left with approximately £34,000. This works out to £2,843 a month and would be the same as an employee earning £45,000. Of our £50,000 profit, over £15,800 is down the drain as tax. That's 32% of our profit. So what if we use the tax rules to pay less tax as possible? In this example, we are going to be clever and only pay ourselves a salary of £12,500. This is because it's the same as the tax-free threshold. We pay no personal tax on this. We do, however, have to pay a bit of employers' and employees' national insurance. We pay $534 of employers' national insurance. This means we are left with $39,966 after paying our salary and national insurance. On our $12,500, we also have to pay $464 of employee national insurance, leaving us with just over £12,000 in the bank. So now we have a little bit of salary in our bank. How do we get the remaining approximately £37,000 out of the business? Before we get anything out, unfortunately there is more tax. First thing we do is have to pay corporation tax on our company's profits. This is currently 19% and costs us around £7,000, leaving us with a final approximate profit of £30,000. We then can pay this money to ourselves as dividends. Due to a change in the rules in the last couple of years, we also have to pay a bit of tax on these dividends. The tax rate is lower though, at 7.5%, and there is a £2,000 tax-free allowance. This gives a personal tax of dividends of around £2,100 and dividends in the bank of around £27,800. If we add this to our salary of around £12,000 and our dividends of around £27,800, we have a total income of just under £40,000. This is over £5,500 higher than what we paid ourselves in our salary. That's a saving of 10% and fantastic news. Our tax rate is now down to 20%, much lower than the 32% you would pay as a normal employee. So why does this matter in the current times? Well, it's all to do with furlough. If I was a cafe owner, suddenly I would be closed. No profits whatsoever. I'd be sitting at home earning no money and still having to pay for things like my food, my bills, my rent and other costs. I'd be stressed and worried. Luckily, the government have provided furlough payments to employees and those that are self-employed. But how does that help me as a business owner? And what is my furlough monthly payment? So, furlough is capped at £2,500 or 80% of your monthly salary. And if I had paid myself all of my income as my salary, given I was a hard-working manager and this is a fair salary for me, I would be absolutely fine. 80% of my monthly salary is just under £3,000, so I would have enough and I would get the maximum furlough of £2,500. However, if I'd been smart like most business owners, I would have paid myself a nominal amount, a smaller salary of £12,500. This means that 80% of my monthly salary would be £833, and this is how much furlough I would get. This at first seems completely unfair. In both situations, my work is exactly the same. It's just how I get paid that is different. I may have been saving £5,800 of tax a year, but who wouldn't when it's perfectly legal? So the question is, why can't the government pay me furlough on my dividends too? Given that dividends was really a return for my effort and my hard work, my cafe is now closed, I'm a small business owner and I'm struggling. The answer is that it's impossible to tell if the dividends were returns for effort or returns of capital. In my next video, I'm going to show you 2 examples and explain this in more detail. Thank you so much for watching this week's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it and this different take on a different style of video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe, comment, give me thumbs up, give me thumbs down, whatever you think. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next week for another video. Bye!